Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name is Calabucas, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation startups, the future, not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe and please drop a note on Apple Podcasts. I'd greatly appreciate it. So, Wordle. Wordle is everywhere, right? When I first heard about Wordle, I thought to myself, oh God, great, another viral meme thing, right? But as it turns out, and if you aren't familiar with it, it's a word game. It's a 5-letter word game that was invented by a developer who apparently, apocryphally, was waiting for his girlfriend or wife to do something, and in his spare time was just sitting there fiddling around with word games, and he created this word game. And this word game ended up being so popular that the New York Times bought it for apparently multiple millions of dollars. I don't have the statistics on me. But if you haven't played Wordle, it's a pretty straightforward game. It is a game where you have to find a target 5-letter word. It's a 5-letter English word. And you have 6 tries to find this 5-letter English word, right? And the way it works is that you throw out an initial try, and it flags the letters as either gray, which means the letter is not in the word, yellow, which means that the letter is in the word but in the wrong spot, or green, which means the letter is in the word and in the right spot. And you get 6 tries to get this word right. And I've been playing it with my wife, and I thought, well, this is interesting. And then it struck me the other day that Wordle is a lot like having a startup. It's like a little crucible startup in a tiny little 6-try game. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Calabucas, what the hell are you talking about? How is Wordle anything like a startup? How is Wordle anything like a startup at all? Well, think of it this way. When you have a startup, you have to start with an idea. You do research to figure out what customers want. What are customers looking for? What desire, what pain point, or what distraction are you trying to meet with your product? So you go out there and you do some research, and people go out there and do research on what the best starting word is in Wordle. What is the best way to come to your customers? What product are you going to come to your customers with that you are determining is similar to what they're looking for? So what you do is you launch your MVP. You work on your MVP and you launch your MVP. And when you throw out your MVP, it's never ever perfect. And it's the same as the first guess on Wordle. You may get it mostly right. You may get it partially right. You may get it completely wrong. But that's your MVP. You throw it out there. And if you're lucky, you'll get clues. Some tiles will be green, some tiles will be yellow. And what you do is you continue to pivot. You stop and think to yourself, and sometimes you even research, you stop and think to yourself, what do I need to do to get closer to the word? What do I need to do to get closer to what my customer is looking for? Now, the green tiles represent product attributes that your customers love. You've hit the nail on the head. It's exactly what your customers want. The yellow tiles represent something close to what your customers are looking for, or on the way to what your customers are looking for, but not quite there. The gray tiles represent complete misses. You made a huge mistake and you need to change. So what does it mean? Gray tiles and yellow tiles mean pivot, mean change that feature, do something different. You throw out another guess, it gets closer. You throw out another guess, it gets closer. And you keep on throwing out guesses, at which point every time you throw out a guess, and if you do it wrong, you can just throw out all sorts of guesses that are incorrect. But there's a strategy here. You look at it, you think about it, then you pivot, and you get closer and closer and closer to the actual answer, which is product market fit. When those tiles all flip green, your product is perfectly aligned with what your customers are looking for. So if you think about it, in a crucible, Wordle is like running a startup, launching an MVP, pivoting and pivoting and pivoting until your customers say that you've got it. But then you also have a limited set of tries. You only have 6 tries because at some point your customers are going to say, you're just not getting it, it's not working for me, and go somewhere else. So if you think about it, Wordle not only teaches you how to create a startup and launch a startup, it also teaches you about failure, about how you shouldn't just give up if guest 2 or guest 3 or guest 4 are still have gray tiles or yellow tiles in them. No, you keep going. You fail, but you keep on going. You keep on pivoting until you get product market fit or all green tiles. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.